Hello, students. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you all are fine and safe. Um, Today is our second lecture, and we are going to start from here. Hope you all are listening me. You can hear me. Because of rain and all light issues, there is some internet and signal issues. So that's why I'm asking this, and I have concern about this. So in this slide, I mentioned another book, which is Project Management, a System Approach to Planning, Scheduling, Controlling, 12th edition. Okay, this is a good book. You can follow this book too. So now we will go on the next slide, which is skill manager needs. What type of skills manager need? Um, we have divided the skills in three categories. The first one is technical skills, and the second is human skills, and the third is conceptual skills. So technical skills is basically the skills which needed by the first line managers and lower level managers, and this they have to know about the technicality and the way the work is do, the way that good and services is produced, because they are repetitive tasks, and these tasks are simple, repetitive, and the lower level and the first line manager are dealing with this. Okay, the second is skills. Human skills is basically the skills in which manager have to know how to deal with the other people, how to deal with the group, how to deal with the team. So in this, they have the ability to handle the team, handle the group, handle the people. This type of skill is needed by the middle managers, because they are in the middle of the organization. They have communicate with the first line, and they are communicate with the top managers. So they have to know how to deal with people, because it's very important. Because sometimes we have team, we have the uh, mm, workers, we have employees, but we don't know how to deal and how to take work from them. So it's the work of manager to take out the potential from every individual, to take out or utilize the maximum potential of every individual, which the HR department hired for specific job. So then we have conceptual skills. Basically, conceptual skills are the skills which needed by the um, top managers, because they these are the skills in which we have the ability to think, to conceptualize about the complex situation. Because top manager is basically dealing with all the uncertainty, all the unpredictable situation of the organization. So they have to know how to handle this type of organization, how to cope with this type of stresses, this type of things. um, if we take the life example, so in this pandemic, this is the very unpredictable and difficult situation for all over the global. So the top manager, the executive, the CEO have responsibility to give response to that situation. So those CEO who have good um, conceptual skills, they copt easily, they copt in a good way. So because in this in conceptual skills, the situation and the things are not repetitive, they are new in nature, they are unpredictable, they are more complex. They have to think more observation, because they are the head of the organization, and under the umbrella of CEO, all the peoples, all the managers, all the supervisor, all the layer of the organization working. So any single decision affect the whole organization, affect the revenue, affect the sales, affect the HR department, affect the marketing, affect the production, affect the progress, every goodwill, reputation of the organization. So they have to think more thoroughly, more systematically, more comprehensively. And in the next slide, we have present these three type of skills in the histogram diagram. So those who have pink shade, they are conceptual, and the human skills are represented by yellow color, and the technical is represented by purple. So every line and every management have some ratio of every skills, but still which but still some layer need some skill more than other. So in the first line, as you guys can see, the most big part is technical, because they are dealing with the technical things, they are in the production department, they are producing goods and services. So they have to know how to produce, how the technicality of things. So this is the big part in this layer. And in the second, because the middle management is dealing with the top and the first line, so they have to know how to deal with the humans, how to deal with the people, how to deal with the bosses and employee and subordinates. So this part is big. And the top management is basically most of the work is about is related to thinking and observing and taking decisions. So the conceptual part is big, they have this skill. Otherwise the organization cannot be run, because these are the things which we have to consider, and we have to hire the individual according to these skills. So then we have the next, in the next slide. In the previous slide, we the overall basics of management, in which we were discussed the definition of management, and managers, who are the manager, what are their skills, what are their responsibility, functions of management. So this is the basic things about definition. Now as our topic is, and our subject and course is project management, we will now come on that topic. And we start from the history, because everything start from some date and in the past, because everything has some initiative. So project management is basically not the new subject, is not the something unique, it's the very old phenomena. Basically you can, project can be anything. You can uh, project can be anything. It can be Egyptian pyramid and the Great Wall of China. So and pyramid of all are project, they are planning for something, they have some goals, some objective which they were trying to achieve. So the next is a publication of a children books, Panama Canal, and development of commercial jet airplanes, polio vaccine, human being landed on the moon. So these all are project, these all are plans, commercial software application, so GPS devices. So these all are projects. So this is the history from pyramid, from Egyptian time, from that much old time. We are we were planning projects and we work in that direction. So this is the history of project management. And then we have to and then we have why is project management important. So if we are doing anything, so it has some importance. That's why everything has some consequences, everything has some results. That's why we are doing this, doing anything. If we are planning for online sessions, so it has motive. The motive is that because of pandemic we are unable to take the physical classes, so the study is suffering. So the universities is planning for the online sessions, so in this way the students can get uh, lectures and can appear in the exams and save the time, save the resources. And we are utilizing this time, this pandemic time, more effectively and more efficiently through the online and technological things. So everything has some motive. If we are planning some project, so it must have some importance. That's why we are doing it. Otherwise, if it's not a good thing and we are not achieving anything from this, so we never do this. In the previous example, all the things which they were just do, they have some results. In the end they are getting those Egyptian pyramids is the historical things, and the Great Wall is also the mm, very famous wall in the China. So every and if the polio vaccination, so if we are planning for polio vaccination, so at the end the result is that many children get polio from the campaign. So every project have some results and importance. And to consider these all things, we plan for the project, we have the reason to do anything. So what's the important basically, it's map out the course of action. So through planning we are able to plan our objective and goal accordingly and stepwise. And in this way, if we are planning for any project, so we can think more systematically and thoroughly comprehensively. And every project have unique task. So every project have some uniqueness, because if we are planning for any project, so there must be something different, something unique about it. That's why we are planning for it and we are doing it. And specific objective and goals, of course we have some goals, we have some objectives and variety of resources. After completing the project, we get some results in the form of resources, in the form of opportunities opportunities, and time bounded, because it a project maybe project is short term, maybe project is long term, but it must have some time, it must have some deadlines. So if we talk about if we talk about the CPAC, so it's also the project, and after completion of this project we will get the good trading system opportunity and shortest routes, but it is time bounded. But in Pakistan the scenario is different, because we are not enough efficient and effective, so we are unable to, and our government is not working efficiently, so we are not able to achieve our projects, achieve our targets on time, because it's delay every year. But every project have some time limitation, and if we achieved our project on deadline on that time, so in this way it's very fruitful for us. So then we have the some advantages of using project management. So if we are doing anything, so we get some advantages, we get some benefits. So the first one is basically we can, if we are planning for anything, so it's we consider all the thing like finance, resources, and land, labor, raw material, everything. We are planning for everything. We are allotting budget for everything. So in this way, we can better control of finance, better control of human force, and better control of physical things like land, material, all things. And in this way, because if we are planning for any project, so there is a link between every department is linked with the other one, because coordination is the main thing in achieving any goal. So it's uh, in this way we can perform good, and it's also improve the customer relation, because if we are planning for anything, so it's ultimately benefit the customer. uh, if we want to improve the quality of our product, so ultimately it's affect and it's maintain our good relation with customers, because we are improving our product quality for the customer, because we want that our customer will be satisfied. So then we have shorter development time. So this is the advantage. We are set the targets, we are set the deadlines, and we are trying to achieve the specific project in that deadline, and lower cost, because of planning we can save some money, we can work more efficiently and more effectively, because we are trying to reduce the cost and improving the quality. So we are using the lean six sigma um, method. So in this way we can achieve the good quality with the minimum input, and higher quality and increase reliability, because we are planning, we are do some planning, and we are hiring the human resource, we are arranging the raw material and everything, so that in this way it's increase the quality and reliability, because every individual is supervised by some leader, some supervisor. So in this way there is a reliability, and higher profit margin because of planning, because we are, if we are planning for things, we are look after the things, so in this way there is a possibility we can get benefit, and we can create revenue and improve productivity, because we are doing planning, and we are considering everything, so it's ultimately increase our productivity, and better coordination, because without coordination we are unable to work on any project, and higher worker morale. If we are working on a specific project, so if the finance department gets some amount from the executive, so they are answerable for that amount, where they invest, what they are doing with that amount. And if the labor are hired for the project, and so they are also answerable what they are doing, what their responsibility and task, because each and everything is planned. There is the minimum possibility of uncertainty. We are trying to consider all the expect and all the angle um, of achieving or thinking or observing, analyzing the project, because we are trying to achieve the best alternative. uh, because our aim is not just achieve the project, our aim is achieve the project with efficiently and effectively, with minimum input, with maximum output, with quality, and in more effective and efficient way. So the next one is what is project basically. So there is the two definition on this slide. The first one is from PM Project Management Book of Knowledge Guide 6th edition, and the second one is from Harrod Hasner Project Management 12th edition. Okay, the first one is basically project is a temporary endeavor undertaking to create a unique product, service, or result. So it's something temporary. Temporary doesn't mean it's shorter, but temporary means that time bounded. One day it will be achieved and the project will be closed, or maybe we will discuss in the coming slide what is temporary endeavor. And undertaking to create a unique product, so something different, something change. If we are planning for any product, so we have some motive which on which we are working, so it must be unique, it must be different, and it may be product, it may be service, or something else, consistency. We are improving the performance of employee, we are improving the quality of product, maybe we are building some new apartment, some new building. So whatever our project, but it must be unique, it must be different, it must be some specifications. So this is the definition of a project. And the second one is project management is the planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of company resources for a relatively short term objective that has been established to complete specific goal and objective. So, in the previous slide, we discussed about the function of management, because it's linked with the project management. So in the project management, of course, we are doing some planning. First, we are planning for things, we are initiating things, we are doing some planning, some map skilling, some brainstorming. Then we organize them, how we do this, and then we directing them, then we leading them, and after it we are controlling them whether it's work according to plan or not. So if there is any problems, if there is any issues, so we repeat the process. Otherwise, we will try to correct the thing at that spot. And if the thing is not correcting on that spot, so we will repeat the process and we will come on the plan B. So because our motive is basically to utilize the company resources effectively and efficiently in order to achieve the specific goal and objective of ABC project, whatever our project is. Uh, because resources are scarce, resources are limited. All the competition in this world is because of resources. We have limited resources and we have to utilize them effectively and efficiently. Otherwise, we are unable to survive in this market. Any organization unable to survive if they are not aware about their resource utilization and usefulness. So next one is basically Elaboration have some attributes. In the previous definition, we discussed about this, but we will discuss it in more detail one by one. The first one is it has unique purpose, and the second is it is temporary, and the third is um, progressive elaboration. Okay, and the fourth is required resources often from various areas should have primary customer or sponsors. So if we are achieving any project, so we have to resources, we have required resources from different area, from different department. Maybe we are taking human resources from we are taking human and labor from production department. We are we are need some people from finance department. We need some people
यहाँ
from
पर ये बस कि
marketing department.
इस सेम
Maybe
क्लास की तो
we
कोई और
need
क्लास
some
है नहीं.
people, maybe we need some people from outside the department, another organization. So these all are the things which we need in order to achieve in order to achieve any project. If we take example, if we take the local example of so CPAC. In CPAC, we have so many laborers and people involved from Pakistan, but most of the people we are um, working on that project from China and from foreign country. So it's depend on the nature of project, what type of project we have to, and what we are trying to achieve, whether this type of expertise we have to or not, or we have to hire from the outsiders outside market. So it's depend on the nature and characteristics and attribution of the project. And the project sponsor usually provides the direction and funding from the project. So for any project, uh, uh, somebody is funding. So if we are uh, take the example, so in cricket is also is an event, is a project. So in this project, there are many sponsors. Pepsi, Lay's, Unilever is a sponsor of Pepsi. So basically, because the may sometimes the project is a small project, but some projects are very big, they need a lot of investment. So sponsor is basically investing and supporting and funding the project, and involve uncertainty because in today environment there is a lot of uncertainty. So market is changing day to day, hour to hour. So we can't take, there is very high risk into their market because now the things are changed, technology changing fastly, and the environment is very uncertain. And if we take the example of Pakistan, so here the things are more uncertain because we are underdeveloped country, we are not that much stable and developed country. So we have more uncertainty as compared to other countries, because uh, our system is not that much strong. So we have to consider the percentage of uncertainty, and we have to cope with them whenever we are facing with uncertainty. So the first one is uniqueness. What uniqueness mean basically? Uniqueness is basically that if we are working on any project, so it must be different from in so that the project or service or result is different from the other project service or result. So if we are planning for any project, so we have to be unique. If we are constructing any home, any building, so the material, the process, and all the things are same. But of course, there is uniqueness in term of location, in term of design, in term of facilitation. So these all are the things that create uniqueness in any project. And if we take the example of Olympics, vaccine, polio vaccination, so if the government is planning for 2021 polio vaccination, so uh, the basically aim and objective of the campaign is that, so in the previous polio year, they achieve x amount of children and x amount of area. So they are targeting more, and they are targeting that in this year we are trying to achieve to that amount. So always to uh, always trying to achieve more good results, because we do the comparison, and we are always wanting to be perform good, to be avail more resources, and to be more efficiently effective throughout the project. So although repetitive element may be present in some project deliverable, so representative. If we take the example of campaigns like polio, Olympics, so these all are repetitive. These all are the projects which are repeating every year, but still they have uniqueness. As I told that every year they are planning for some good results. So they are planning for good achievements, and they are promising to deliver good. So repetitive doesn't mean that it spoil the uniqueness of the project, because it's the nature of human that human want to develop. That's why we have invention in this world. We are always want to be developed, we are always want to be moving forward, uh, moving and so on. We have to be continuous. So this is the uniqueness. Maybe it repetitive task, but still it has uniqueness. So an ongoing work effort is generally a repetitive process because it follow an organization existing procedure. So it doesn't mean if the organization um, if the organization is working um, continuously and doing the repetitive process, so it doesn't mean it is for the uniqueness of the project, but it's important because it's the existing procedure. Because of that repetitive task, the organization is basically exist. Olympics game, every year Olympics game is repeated the same event, but still they have uniqueness because every year they have different team member, different coaches, and different targets, different goals, and different objective, and something new about their games. Because in this way, the people and the audience are watching and are excited about the event. So this is the uniqueness of project. And then we have the temporary. Basically, temporary nature means that project have definite beginning and end. So every project have some beginning and some end because it time bounded. It time bounded and time limited. It has some span of life. So project is when the project is terminated. So there are some condition in which the project is terminated. The first one is basically objective will not and cannot be meet. When the objective are unable to meet, so the project is terminated, or maybe the need for the project is no longer exists. So and by the client, because every some projects are allotted by the clients, and mm, client is want to terminate it, want to end it, because they are no longer interested in it, or maybe they don't need it. So these are the reasons when the project is over, and when the project is terminate and end. And but some projects are produced on some occasions like Olympics, fashion shows, and polio campaign, and so many examples. Just some of them I discussed with you. And then we have certain other cater to an opportunity or market window that is short in duration. So but some are basically short in duration because it's occurred according to occasion, according to event. When there is a campaign for Christmas, Eid, and Diwali, so these are also project. They are targeting for a specific sales. They are a specific number of sales, and they have some goals and objectives. And basically, if we are planning for any project, so we have some team um, in order to achieve that project. So project team are formed as it begin. When the project is begin, so we form some team, we form some group, and disbanded as it completes. So and then it will dissolve when the project is completed. So if we are planning for some sales, so we hire some team, we need some number of team for campaign. And when the season is over, so this team is disbanded and dissolved. So this is the things work like. And then we have progressive elaboration. Okay, in this we are in this basically proceeding in a step. So we are working stepwise. We are continuously working. So that's why we have more emphasis on the two things. The first one is basically identifying the stakeholder. So stakeholder are those peoples which are affected by the project. For example, stakeholder is a government, stakeholder is a customer, stakeholder is an employee, stakeholder is a client, stakeholder is the um, um, so those stakeholder are all those peoples which are affected by the project. So we have to consider them before initiating, before starting any project, because at the end, by the results of project, these are the people which will be affected by the results, which will be affected by the uh, consequences of result. So investors, stakeholder are basically investors. So basically, if the company is performing good or bad, so investor and shareholder are affected by it, and customer is also affected by any project, because ultimately any organization is solving for the customer, solving for the client. So before initiating any project, we have to address the interest of every stakeholder. We have to address the interest of investor. We have to address the interest of the client and customer. We have to address the interest and of government, and we have to address the interest of employee. So if we are doing that thing, we are planning for that project, so what are the consequences on all these peoples, and what are the feedback and reaction of all these people if we if we will face the loss of, or if we will face the profit. So we have to identifying their interest, we have to identifying before initiating any project or during initiating, because in this we are planning for things, so we have to address all those people. So then we have collect requirements. So after addressing the interest, we have to plan what will we have to do, what are the things we need, what are the resources, what are the skills, expertise we need to we need, or in order to achieve that project, in order what type of technology, what type of machinery, what type of expertise, skills, what type of engineer, what type of architect, and what type of production department laborers, and w- everything, everything, whatever we need, we have to collect them, we have to allocate them, we have to gather them in the planning process, because we have to plan for them. In this way we can plan more efficiently and effectively, and we can do get idea about the cost and the loss and the revenue and the results of projects. So we have to know what are the things we require, and what it will be turn out to in term of cost, and what benefit we will get, and we do the comparison and we do the analysis among the cost and the revenue, and after this all analysis we will able to take the decision. So if the cost is high and the revenue is low, so we will definitely not go for that project, or we are trying to go through, or we are trying to explore, or search about the other alternative if the cost is high and the revenue is low, because our motive is not just achieve the project. Our motive is to achieve the project more effectively and efficiently, because project planning is the thing we are doing because of cost, because of efficiency, because of effectiveness. That's why we are planning for projects, we are doing project management, we are hiring the team, we are doing planning, we are following the protocol, the process, because it's not just achieving the goal. We want to achieve our goal efficiently and effectively, and in a good way. We want to waste minimum things, we want to waste minimum resources, and we want to achieve good results, good targets, good goal, good feedbacks, good results, good consequences, because we want to be in good quality. We want to uh, we want to be a good performer. We want to be more effective and efficient. So scarce resources, we have to be careful about their usefulness. So these are the things we are hiring the team, we are planning for it, we are working on that we are arranging all the things, so it's the reason behind it. So then we have to the second is basically project is why we are doing project is basically drive the change. We want to bring some change, whether it's the change in quality, it's the change in improving the environmental condition, whether it's the change in quality of product, whether we want or construct a new unit, new department, or whether we want to run some campaign, we want to capture some customers, we want to uh, facilitate some health facility to public, and whatever the thing, but we bring some change, we drive the change. So if we are running the sale campaign, so what we want that our stock will be finished, and we capture some customer, we attract some customers. So in this way our items and our product will be sale, or our services will be sale. So this is our motive, and the change is that we want to sell our things. And if the government is trying to decrease the pollution, so they will work on that. If for example nowadays the global warming is increasing, so the government is most of the organization is every year planning, or 2 year 5 year planning, depend on the organization, for some targets that we will achieve in a 5 year, we will achieve that percentage of global warming and green gas emission. So these all the things which the organization planning, they want change. And if the organization want to improve the quality, so they're working on it, so they're working on quality management, continuous improvement. So and if the organization wants some improvement, legal improvement, or um, government and policy issues. So every project have the motive to change, to bring change. So basically, it's drive the change in organization from business perspective. Project is basically moving the organization from one state to another state. So the organization has some current state, and after achieving that organization, so the organization wants some change in terms of some building, in terms of increasing some um, campus. For example, if we take the example of Benazir University, so it has, I think, two universities, two campuses. So if they want, they are planning for some project. They want to launch or start their campus in Gulshan. So this is the project, and what the change they want their campus in Gulshan. So they will increase another campus. So this is the project, and the change is the current state is that they have two campus, and in the future, what the time they will plan, and after 2 year, or after 1 year, 3 year, whatever is the plan. So after 5 year, they will open their campus in Gulshan. So so this is the current state, they have two campuses, and in the future state they have the three campus. So it's bring change. So basically project motive is bringing change, drive change in term of anything, whatever the project is. So this is the thing we show in diagram. So this is the business value. Business value is basically x-axis, and on the y-axis we have organizational state transition via a project. So this is the current state, we have top and we have two department under the top, and the project is basically this is the arrow which is project. So in the project we have ABC activity, whatever we the activities we plan, whatever we have to do to create a situation and to achieve the future state. So then we have in the future we have additional units. So this is the thing we we are doing in the project. We bring change, we drive change. So in term of some building, in term of some campus, in term of some product launching. For example, this is the company, they have two category of project. The first is care, skin care, and the second is hair care. So so they want to launch an other hmm, category in which they want to launch the beverage. So the first one is skin and the second is hair, but in the future state after planning the project they launch the beverage uh, beverage category too. So in this way they have a lot of drinks and cold drinks and soft drinks. So this is the things in we are doing in the project. We are bringing change. So we are planning for change. We are planning change in term of anything what our project is about. So the second is basically, of course, if we are doing anything, so we have some constraints. If we take a life example, so when the pandemic situation occurred, so everyone is trying to uh, doing the business and trying to arranging the thing online and doing things online. Every organization is facing some sort of issues and sort of constraint. So someone have a technological problem, someone have a staff issues, someone have a finance issues, someone have skills issues. So everyone have their own issues. So uh, in order to achieve anything we have to face some constraints. So there is always a challenges because achieving anything is not a piece of cake. We have to bear some uh, issues, we have to bear trouble, and we have to do struggle in order to do that thing. So that's called the project constraint. And the constraint are basically the risk, the uncertainty, and the scope. If we are doing this thing, what will the scope and the budget? Because we have limited resources, so we have to utilize them carefully. So the budget, if because the cost is the very important thing. What our budget, whether we can afford this project, whether it's too expensive, whether it's in under control. What's the budget of organization? It's depend on the size of the organization, on the performance, on the goodwill, and what type of market they are targeting. These all are affecting their budget. So then again scope, I think two time. And then after it we have cost. What will the cost, what will the expenditures of that project, what the how much money we have to invest on that project. And quality, if we are investing that amount, if we are investing 1 million, so what will be the quality of project? If we are investing 10 million, so what will be the quality of that project, and what will the scope of that project? Because if we are producing any product in 1 million, and if we are producing one product, another product on 10 million, so of course there is a difference in the quality, and we will see the scope of that quality, of that product. And the resources, whether we have resources to achieve that product, we have enough labor, we have enough technology, enough machinery, we have land, we have expertise, we have skills people to achieve that project, to design that project. So it's also very important. And then we have schedule, what the time limitation, what will be the time, what will be the duration of achieving that project. So We have so many companies. Some of them are working on quality, some of them are working on cost. If we take the example of Chinese companies, so they are producing the things which are low in quality but good in low in quality but cheaper price. So they are controlling the cost. They are not care about the quality because the market of China product is middle or lower class. So it's depend on the organization what type of market they are targeting and what are their strategy for producing any product. And if you take the example of Honda and Toyota and Apple company, so they are not compromising in quality. They are producing good quality, and the cost is of course high as compared to China product because their market is basically elite class. They are targeting the peoples who don't care about the cost. They have enough money, but they don't want to compromise the quality because they want the reliable thing and the luxurious thing. So it's depend on the nature of product, and it's depend what type of customer they are targeting, what type of client they are targeting, for what type of people they are achieving that product. So these are the things we have to consider. These are the challenges, these are the constraints we are facing in order to achieve our project. So then we have we have to careful about and keep in mind that thing that we can't emphasize on one thing more than other, because if we are pushing in one direction too much, so that will cause the problem in other uh, side. So we have to balance these all things. That's why they are saying it's the triangle. We can say this project constraint, project management triangle constraint, because we have to balance all the sides, because we have to give we have to consider every side. We can't be just focused on quality, and ignore the cost factor or ignore the scope factor. We have to consider everything. We have to balance them according to our nature of product. So this is the diagram of constraint, triple constraint in project management. Uh, this is basically in the previous slide. Basically, they were saying that pushing too much in one direction causing problem on other. If we are more emphasized on the quality, so ultimately it affect this and this, because we have to balance the things. So in this way we can create, or we can do, or we can achieve our goal. So the first is schedule. We have to be limit we have to be target some duration, time bounded, and resources, what type of resources we have to, and we have to utilize them effectively and efficiently. We have to take the maximum output with minimum input. And the budget, what are the budget of our organization, whether we can afford the things, we can arrange the money, and we can do it, what our budget. So then we have the quality. eh, how much quality we can compromise to, we have to produce for elite class, or whether the customer we are targeting are not rich enough so they can afford the expensive and high cost things. So, and what the scope, if we are producing the good quality, or we are producing the low quality thing, so what will the scope, who are going to purchase it, and what are the consequences, and what are the results, and what are the benefits we will get from the project, if we are considering cost, or we are considering quality. And the risk, there's always uncertainty, which is risk, because things are unpredictable. Anytime anything can be happen, so we have to consider the risk factor too. So this is the constraint we are facing in project management. And then we have the, of course, if anything can be successful, it must, we have to be think in all directions. So if anything can be successful, so there is the opposite of success is failure. So project can be failed too if we are unable to achieve on time, and we are unable to arrange the budget, and we have the shortage of resources, or we have to some unpredictable thing happen. So in the pandemic, most of the businesses, most of the projects are stopped it because of uncertainty, because of risk factor. Most of the businesses, most of the clinics are shut down. So because of failure, because they are unable to cope with that situation. So many things failed if we don't work properly, if we don't appear for every type of situation. So we have to keep this in mind. We can fail in achieving the project if we don't consider the thing carefully. So the first one is that we have the clarity. We have the clarity in mind what we are doing and why we are doing. So what the purpose of doing this project, whether we are doing it for what type of reason, what the importance of that project, what the consequences and what the advantages we will get from that project. So we have to be clear about that. So if we take the example of just not project example, we take the journal example of individual, of any individual. So any student who don't have clear purpose of their life, so they are not, most of them are unable to develop their career, because we have to clear about things, what we have to do, what the target we want to achieve. So this is the thing, clarity is the most important thing. We have to be clear about the things. So before starting any project, we have clarity. We have cluster clear things, that what we are going to do and what the purpose of doing this. And if we have to inexperienced manager in our project team, so ultimately it affect our project achievement, because we need people according to their skill. We have to be hire right people for the right job. That's why in the previous slide we will discussed about the managers and skills and responsibility, because we have to be know about this, what type of skill is needed by performing this type of job. So um, inexperience, those who don't have experience about the projects, and don't work on any project in the previous and previously, so it's ultimately added in the failure. But it's not important, but in some cases it will. So then poor estimation of duration and cost. So if we are not clear about our time limits, and we are not estimate our cost, so we will out of budget, and ultimately it will close the project, because if we don't have a resources, we don't have a finance, so we are unable to achieve our project. So culture and ethical alignment. So if if we are developing any project in any country or any area, we have to be aware about the culture, what we are going to do, and what what the ethical issues we are planning. For example, if we take the example of Muslim society, and we are planning to launch some alcohol or some bar club in Pakistan. So we know that this is the Muslim country, and it may arise ethical issues. So we have to be consider these things. So it will be failure in that country, in the country, in the Muslim country, to launch the alcohol bar or club, etc. Because, but as compared to the foreign country, if we are launching the alcohol uh, bar or some dance club, so there is no chances of failure in that country, because their culture, their religion are supporting these things. And in Pakistan we will be faced this type of thing. So we have to be aware about the things. So and poor requirement and scope management. So if we are unable to collect the things, we are unable to do proper plannings, and what will the scope of a specific project, so it's ultimately added up in the failure. And coordination is the most important thing. Without coordination, we are unaware about the progress, about the performance of every individual. So we have to be coordinate with every with each other. In this way, we will know about what are the activities going on, and we have to be allocate the resources uh, timely and at the spot of need. And poor communication, basically communication is very important thing, skills is very important thing. That's why in manager and in leader we have to consider about the skills, communication skills, what interpersonal skills, because interpersonal skills is basically all about the communication skills, how the individual is communicate with the other and with the team. um, how much he or she can understand and get and capture the things. So these all the things which affect the failure and which added in project failure. And inadequate planning of scope, schedule, resources, cost, risk, and quality. So the constraint of project management, we have keep these all things in the mind, because if we are ignoring any aspect, so it ultimately uh, increase the chances of failure. So because we are following the process, because we are reducing the chance of failure, and then we have the lack of progress and quality control. uh, we have to monitor the things that controlling the quality. Okay. So if we are because every project have some steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So if there is no progress and quality control, so ultimately it's the failure of project. If we are in on the step 1, so we have to be come on step 2. So if we are not moving on the next step, so ultimately we are not progressing, and this is not good for project. We are not we will not achieve our project on the time. So it is also the failure. So in the Pakistan, the most of the things not achieved because of lack of progress. We are not progress according to plan. We are not working according to plan. CPAC is a very old project, and the government is increasing the deadline again and again, because there is a lack of progress, quality control, poor communication, resource issues. So these are the things which will create hurdle in achieving the project. So it can be the cause of failure. These are the some points. Failure can be anything, any sort of thing, but we discussed some of them. And then we have what is the project management. Basically, project management is application of knowledge, skills, tools, and technique to project activity to meet the project requirement. Basically, if we are planning for anything, so we need some knowledge. We have some we need some people which know about the thing, which have knowledge, we have which have experience about the thing. Skills, they have skills and capability, how they will do this, how they will achieve it. Tools is basically resources and techniques. What are the techniques, what are the tips they will do, and they will perform the activities and to meet the project requirements. So we need some skills in form, we need some skills and knowledge in form of human, in form of capital, human capital, in form of manager, in form of labor, in form of employee, and tools and techniques in term of machinery, and in term of raw material. So so in this way we will able to perform the activity. um, we will take some basic example, because um, uh, if any student is doing study, so they have some skill, they have some knowledge, means they he or she know how to read, how to write. They have intermediate degree, so this is the knowledge and some skills. So skills skill means they have to know how to read the things, how to uh, take the grip on concepts, and how to cover the chapters. So and utilize these all things and tools. Basically they need stationery, they need books, they need laptop, mobile, internet access. So in this way they are able to perform the activity. Perform the activity means activity of a student is basically they can take the classes, they can attend the classes, and they can take the lectures. And to meet the project requirement, the project is basically as clearing the degree. So this is the project of any student. So in this way they will achieve that project. So the requirements are things which we require in order to achieve the things, achieve the project, achieve the goal and objective. So the process, the group process is basically depend on five things. The first one is initiating, how we initiate a thing, how initiating. First we create the need, and then we initiate it, and then we will do some planning, and then after planning we will implement it. Okay, we will apply that planning, and after planning and implementing we will monitor the um, implementation. We will look after the implementation, whether it is working according to plan, whether it's work smoothly, whether it's work effectively and efficiently. And after monitoring, if the things are working according to plan, we will control it. We will avoid the future error. We will try to save the wastage, try to save the resources, try to save the time, try to save the labor, try to save the material. So in controlling we will minimize the chance of mistakes and error. And in monitoring we will avoiding the error and mistakes. And after it when we do the planning, we will, and when we do the initiating, planning, and implement it, do the monitoration and the controlling. After it, the project, we will ultimately achieve our project and goal and objective and project, and then it will close. So this is the process of project. And basically this is the cycle we present in the diagram. The first one is initiating, then come on planning, then we come on executing, and then we come on controlling, and after it the project will be closed. So after it we have the portfolio, program, and project. So this is the thing. These are the three things in project. The first one is basically process in it. Process is basically the systematic and thoroughly series of activities. So systematic basically means if we are planning for anything, so it is systematic. So it is according to plan. It is functional in nature. We will following the steps, we will following the series, we will doing the thing step by step. So the process is basically a systematic series of activities, anything we are performing, whether whether we are doing activity in order to complete a campaign, whether we are working in launching some product, we are constructing any building, any home, anything. So we are producing some good or services. So it's activity, series of activities. What are the nature of our project and what are the activity in order to achieve that project, directed towards causing an end result. So these are the activity which lead to produce some results, produce some end result. Produce end result means we will achieve the project. What are the what are our project, what are our goal and objective, such that one or more input will be act upon to create one or more output. So we are doing systematic series of activity which are directed, which are in the direction of achieving or causing any results, achieving our product, achieving our service, achieving our end result. So the result is basically end result is the basically the thing we achieve from that activity. And we will input one and more things which will create the results. Maybe if we are producing some sort of if we are giving some input, so we will get some outputs, because every action has some reaction. So this is the whole thing we are studying in the chemistry from ninth class. So if we are putting some energy, we are putting some time, we are putting some resources in anything, so we will gaining some results, we will get some reaction, we will get some output. So this is the phenomena we are doing in the process. And after it we have the operation. Operation is basically the organizational function. Operation operation is simply the process and the repetitive thing and continuous thing. So it's the organizational function. In organization, there is a lot of operations, performing the ongoing activity that produce the same product or produce a repetitive service. So in production department, we are this is we can take the example of production department. We are again and again uh, uh, producing the repetitive product. If we are produce if we take the example of any food company, for example Lays. So if they are producing the yogurt Lays, so same yogurt Lays they are producing again and again. So this is the operation they are doing again and again. So in operation is basically the on organizational function, performing the ongoing activity, which performing the ongoing activity, continuous activity that produce the same product and provide a repetitive service. So it's provide the again and again same service. So if we are going to if we take the example of services, so if we take the example of doctor, if I'm the patient, so they are serving me, and if an other patient, so they are serving his or her too. So they are providing the repetitive service. They are providing the same service to every patient. So and if we take the example of insurance company, so they are providing the insurance policy to every client. And for example airline company, so they are facilitating every customer the flight. And if we take the example of university, so they are facilitating every student in every batch, every batch and every year, and providing the same repetitive services. So this is not the basically project, this is the operation. Operation is different from the project. basically. Project is has unique purpose, but the operation is not a unique has unique purpose. It is the repetitive task, continuous process, but the project is time limited, but the operation is not time limited. It is repetitive task, it is continuous task, it is ongoing task, but the project is not ongoing task. It will be start on some specific time and it will finish on some specific time. It is time bounded, it is has some duration, it is temporary, but the operation is not temporary. It is continuous process, repetitive process. They are producing the same product again and again, they are servicing the same service again and again, they are doing the repetitive task. So it is the ongoing things and continuous thing, but the project is basically the temporary. And business value, basically business value. In the previous slide we will see the diagram in which we have the um, on x-axis we have business value, and on the y-axis we have transaction value via the project management. So business value is basically the entire value of the business, what the goodwill of the business, um, what the reputation of business, what the equity of business, what the stakeholder, what the stock price, what the services, what the performance, what the revenue, what the sale, what the basically worth of business. So entire value of the business. So it's include all the things, all the assets, all the liability, goodwill, equity, honor, equity, all the things, assets. So entire value of the business, basically business value is. So this is the end of this lecture, and for today we are stopping here. So from the next class we will start from another topic. We will discuss the portfolio, program and project in more detail, and we will then come on the process group of project management, in which we have initiating and planning, controlling, and monitoring, and then closing. We will discuss it one by one in more detail, and hope you guys are getting these lectures, and stay happy and safe. And please read the book. The both book are very good. If you guys will read the book, so it will more good for you. You guys will get more good understanding of lecture, and you guys have more grip on the concept. So thank you so much, and take care of the office.